Madam Member, today we have the detention review hearing of Samantha Morales. The role will be played by Sheridan. And Iman Abbas and myself, Percy Dastur, we will be the co-counsels of Samantha Morales. Madam Member, we will now start off with the examination. I will now request my colleague, co-counsel Iman Abbas, to start with the questioning of Samantha Morales.
Hi, Samantha. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. We have some question for you, so please answer them clearly, so everybody they will be clear to the member and to the minister. First of all, what is your full name?
My name is Samantha Morales.
Samantha, what is your date of birth?
June 2nd, 1985.
Okay. What is your nationality, Samantha? Where are you from?
I'm from Chile.
Samantha, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Well, do you have any children, and what they are age?
I have 2 young children. They are 5 and 4.
Okay. And where are your children now, Samantha? Are they with you or are they in your home country?
They're in my home country with my husband.
So your husband is staying with them?
Yes, he's taking care of them.
Okay. Do you have a job there? Do you have a permanent job in Chile?
Yes, I have a permanent job in Chile.
What kind of a job do you have over there? And since how long have you been on that job?
I've been there for the past 5 years, and it's in landscaping.
Okay.
Okay. So how did you came to Canada? Based on what? What is what the status, or what did you apply for when you came here?
For this particular trip, I applied for an ETA to come because I want to visit my mom. She's very sick and I'm very worried about her. In the past, I've come in here under the seasonal work permit, but I've always kept to the rules and regulation on the work permit. So I just don't know why this is different, why I was detained. I'm only coming here to visit.
Okay. So Samantha, who do you have here in Canada and what is their status? Do you have any family here?
Yes, my mom is here and my aunt is here. My aunt is a Canadian citizen.
And what is about your mother? What is her status? She is Canadian or she is permanent resident?
She's permanent.
She is permanent. Where your mother lives usually? Where she is? In which province she is? Well,
she lives in Toronto, Ontario province. That's where I always go to visit her whenever I come in for seasonal work. And but this time she visited my aunt in Vancouver, and that's where she fell sick and couldn't come back to Toronto because she's been in the ICU. I'm told she's been in the ICU up to now.
So in your last visit, Samantha, did you come as a worker or just as a visitor?
I came as a worker. I came with an authorized, valid seasonal work permit. I've been doing that for the past 2 years.
but now you are in ETA visa as a tourist, right?
This time, yes.
Yes.
This time I just applied
yeah.
because of my intention was to visit,
Right. So the different
and not to work. So I applied for an ETA.
Okay. And when did you get to know about your mother's illness?
Just a couple of weeks ago, after I had I was back at Chile, my aunt texted me that my mom fell ill, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer 6 months ago, but it had gotten worse over the past few weeks. And she explained the intensity a couple of weeks ago that I had to make arrangements to start coming. And that's why I applied for an ETA.
So you got an ETA and you travel by airplane to Vancouver because your mother, it is in ICU, and she is with your auntie usually to take care of her for this reason. Anybody in the airport was waiting for you to pick you up?
Someone, my auntie was supposed to make that arrangement. because this is my first time coming to Vancouver. I usually would land in Toronto. That's where my work is, but my mom fell ill in Vancouver, and that's why I had to come to Vancouver. My aunt was supposed to make arrangements to pick me up.
Oh, all right. So your aunt didn't come to pick you up because she is with your mother in the ICU in the hospital. That's why she's planning to send someone.
I believe so. But the last conversation I had with her was she would get someone to pick me up if she couldn't come herself. And I kept calling. I called, but no one picked. So I don't know. Why was I detained? I don't know.
But okay, so coming back to that same question, probably you just answered it, but why did the officer at the airport detain you? What did you do wrong?
I don't know. He just kept saying my intention was not, I was not being truthful about my intention. He kept, just saying that I was going to stay to work, to stay permanently. I don't know if, I don't know why he detained me. I just want to visit my mom. She's sick. I need to be there with her.
So what type of documents you show the officer, or what do you have with you when you land in Vancouver?
I showed him my he asked for my passport, which I showed him, and I showed him I had a valid ETA, and he took my passport, then he took my phone and confiscated my other belongings.
All right. And did he give you any opportunity or any chance to call your aunt again to pick you up, or just he seized your phone?
If eventually he allowed me to make one phone call, and at that point I tried calling my aunt, but she didn't pick.
So she didn't pick up the phone, and he didn't give you another opportunity to call her to make sure you are right about, I mean, for where you came for to visit your sick mom, right?
No, he didn't give me another opportunity.
Okay.
So Samantha, are you planning to go back once you finish this visit?
Yes, I have 2 young kids back in Chile. They are my life. I don't have to stay here. I have a family over there. I need to be there with them. But my mom is sick. She's my mom. I have only one mom. I have to be there with her.
Okay.
So did you apply for leave from your job, or have you left your job back in Chile?
I did not leave my job. I applied for a leave, for a 2 weeks leave. I told my boss what was happening. She was very empathetic with me, and she said I should take my time and let her know if I need more than the 2 weeks I applied, but I should keep her updated on what's going on with my mom.
Yeah. Co-counsel
Okay,
Iman, your question next.
Yeah. So where is your mom right now, currently?
I was told she was in Vancouver. She was sick, but now I've gotten information that she's in the ICU. So
Okay.
she's currently in the ICU.
Yeah. All right. Why, again, we go back to the first where why your mom is sick in Vancouver? Can you clear that to us and to the member to explain it? Why she, as she lives in Toronto, why she is not in Toronto?
She went to visit my aunt who lives in Vancouver. That's her sister. During the visit, that's when she fell sick, and she was rushed to the hospital by emergency services. And she's been in the ICU. She can't speak for herself, but this is the information I was told.
Okay, Samantha. So did you plan to remain in Canada as the Ministers' Council is alleging? Do you have plans to live permanently in Canada?
No. So he took my phone and he said he saw conversations about my aunt, between my aunt and myself, talking about applying for permanent residency, and my aunt urging me to apply when I become eligible. And I said, fine, I'll look at it, I'll think about it. But my aim was to come see my mother.
Okay, so for this visit, it is you came for a very specific reason, which is to visit your ill mom in the ICU, right?
Yes.
And
right.
not to apply to any other permanent or work permit or any other status in Canada, as the minister think, because of the conversation you had. That's true?
That's true. That is
That's
correct.
true. Okay.
In the past, I had applied for a work permit, so I know the rules. I know that if I'm to work, I need to apply for a work permit. But I applied for an ETA because I know this is only to visit and this is my intention. I kept explaining this to the CBSA officer, but he wasn't
So
nice.
so because of that conversation, he think you are staying for longer.
I
All right.
think so.
Okay, so Samantha, do you have documentary evidence like your marriage certificate or the birth certificate of your children that can prove that you are married and you have kids?
Yes, I do. I have an e-copy. I don't have the hard copy here. It's in my phone, but I don't have my phone. It was
Okay.
seized.
Also, in addition to that, documents, do you have the leave you have applied for, copy of that by email or by any chance? All right. And do you have the correspondence between you and your boss?
Yes, I do.
Oh, all
And
right.
and
So,
I'm sure my boss will be very happy to speak with anyone who calls him.
Okay, thank you, Samantha. So with this, we now complete the examination part of this assignment. And now for the next part of the assignment, which is going to be the submission, Sheridan and Iman will reverse roles. Sheridan will now become the co-counsel. Iman will be Samantha Morales, and I continue to remain as the co-counsel for Samantha Morales. So we now have the submission by Sheridan, who is the co-counsel of Samantha Morales. Sheridan, over to you.
Thank you. Good day, Madam Member. This is my submission. We're going to be submitting evidence to as exhibits, which include the Chile passport, a letter from South Vancouver Hospital corresponding with Samantha's story to confirm her mother's hospitalization, Bond's person employment verification letter, affidavit, pay stub, and a copy of the bond, the ETA document, the employment letter from Samantha's current employer in Chile, pay stubs for Samantha's job in Chile. As counsel, I hereby make these submissions on behalf of my client, Samantha Morales. Samantha Morales has a valid Chilean passport which contains her approved ETA document to visit Canada. She has established her strong ties back to her home country, which is a husband, 2 young children, a job supported by an employment letter with pay stub. In the past 2 years, Samantha has visited Canada, where she worked in Toronto on a seasonal work permit during late spring and early summer. Samantha's mom was diagnosed of ovarian cancer 6 months ago, after Samantha left for Chile, and the cancer is currently at its last stage. Samantha's mom, who is Florencia Morales, left Toronto to visit her sister, Rosa Morales, in Vancouver. During the visit, she was rushed by emergency services and admitted into the ICU, where she currently is. This is why her mom is unable to return to Toronto. Samantha was informed of her mom's health and applied for a work vacation to be with her mom. She proceeded to apply for an ETA because her intent was only to visit and not to work. Samantha clearly understands that if she were to work, she would need to obtain the correct work permit, just like she had done in the past 2 years. She has never breached the conditions of her seasonal work permit, neither has she breached any immigration regulation in the past. Samantha landed in Vancouver Airport and not Toronto Pearson International Airport because the person, that's her mom, who she intended to visit, was currently in a hospital in Vancouver. She did not know the address of the hospital because there was an arrangement for her aunt to pick her up from the airport. Also, as this was her first time in Vancouver, it would be easier for someone more familiar with Vancouver to take her to her destination. Samantha did not necessarily need to know her aunt's address because her aunt always visited Toronto to see her sister before she fell ill. Her aunt also recently bought a house and moved to a new address. Furthermore, in response to the Minister's Council's concern on her obtaining the permanent residency, subsection 22(2) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act allows having two intents as legitimate, as long as the individual meets the requirements of a temporary resident, specifically the requirement to leave Canada at the end of the period authorized for their stay in accordance with section 179 of the UPR. To satisfy the concern of Samantha not having a reason to return to her country, her aunt has agreed to be her bondsperson. Now, her aunt, who is Rosa Morales, is a Canadian citizen. She earns $70,000 at her job, and she has a savings of $50,000. She is willing to commit $5,000 as a cash bond to get her niece released from detention today. Samantha just wants to be with her mother, who has a terminal illness. She's scared that if she remains in detention, her mother will leave without her being able to say her goodbyes. And this will be her biggest regret in her life. I would like to ask you, Madam Member, that my client be released today to be with her mother in this trying time of their lives as a family. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we end our submission.